When I first became a parent, and I remember holding my child in my arms, and I felt such an amazing love for my baby that honestly, I would die for my kid. I couldn't think of anything that I wouldn't do to protect that child from harm. Recent events in my life have really got me thinking about God and how knowing God or understanding God has really gotten stronger in my life because of being a parent. Kind of like you could say everything I ever learned about God and it's the loving nature of God, I learned from being a parent. And the reason why that's happened recently to me is because I've experienced rejection in my life and I've experienced a real hurt. And not that God feels hurt like I feel, but it was really interesting that I'm learning a whole lot about the loving nature of God just by being a parent. We're all redeemable. We're all valuable. There's not one person in this world where God wouldn't die for, just like a baby. Thought about that feeling of rejection and that feeling of love and feeling of being someone's treasure. And it made me realize how much we're loved as children of God and how there's not one of us that He would ever reject, that there's not one of us that He wouldn't die for. God was speaking to the people of Israel. He was saying, I know my plans for you. Not plans for evil, but for good. Plans to give you a hope and a future. Plans to prosper you. And I remember reading that passage a long time ago, and I was just like, yeah, God's just telling you, I know my plans for you, and plans to prosper you. But now I see it as almost a plea to Israel, like, why are you rejecting me? I actually know what's best for you. Why don't you just trust me? Why don't you just believe that I have your best interest in mind? And it made me think, don't we do that like kids do to their parents? They forget their parents would die for them. They would forget that their parents would give up everything for the best interest of the child. I mean, that's what God does for us. Everything that I really learned about God, I learned from being a parent. It's amazing how parallel it is. Maybe He designed it that way so that we would really know His heart and really know what sacrificial love really means.